explained, a little bit of explanation, a little bit of lore, a little bit of talking about the tabletop.
Okay, I will say, his edits so far are capturing me. They're, like, convincing me that, like, he's a pretty alright guy.
Mostly lore,
An 8
what
out
they're
of
all
10?
about,
Oh my god,
and
thank
also
you.
a little bit of background for those of you who just have no clue what Warhammer 40,000 is. Now you see, Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000 is a universe people hear plenty of, but don't know a whole lot about.
Okay.
They see, oh, there's these dudes in big power
Yeah, I don't know
armor
anything.
with chainsaw swords, and they got these big old green orcs, and there's some bugs over there, and everyone calls these guys weaves, and then there's these spiky bitches over here, and I don't get it.
These
I don't
spiky
understand.
bitches?
Where do I start? Well, this video is
Where
particularly
do you start? Like,
for
where's
you,
the beginning
or for those
of
you
Warhammer?
who have a little bit of knowledge,
I mean,
but
he's
you're
probably
kind
gonna
of
tell
curious
me,
about each
right?
of the different races and factions in Warhammer. So overall, the Warhammer universe is vast when it comes to lore and background, and each different faction is so different with the things that they believe in.
Oh wait, what are those? Is that, oh no, is that all the factions?
And background and each different.
Yeah, that's everything, isn't it? Blood Angels is Jamie's favorite. Stitch, yours is... Where are they? Hold on. They're not here. Oh, it worked for Rafita. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I am. I'm looking at these. The bot loves me. Yeah, Rafita just fucking loves you. Stitch, what was your favorites? Because that Blood Angels is Jambies, right? Yeah. Someone else in chat last night really liked Blood Angels as well. Okay, the ones that I've heard of Blood Angels, the Space Marines, Necrons, Inquisitors. Oh, these are regular Space Marines. That's all I've heard of, so I don't know anything else. Salamanders, they're not in here. I don't see salamanders. Yeah, the same thing happened last time, Rafita. I think the bot is like, you're its favorite.
Faction is so different with the things that they believe in, and some are human, some are transhuman, like where they all have all these crazy ass electronics on them. You've got aliens and you've got the chaos factions, and there's so much to entail that I decided to embark on this project to tell you what each and every single one of them is about and what the Warhammer universe is about as well.
That's Rob Along. Gothic Sector. Yeah. That's where we're gonna find me, boys.
Well, to give at least a little bit of an intro to this extremely bloated but very, very enjoyable world that I and many others partake in. So, I will be explaining every single faction in the Warhammer 40k universe, at least all the factions you can play as, and some...
Let's take a guess. What is Basil going to like? I do like the bugs. I know they're like the enemy, but like I kind of like the bugs.
Smaller factions here and there.
Salamanders don't have their own army rules. They're just part of the... Oh, okay.
In it because that is a little bit much, and I'm not going to go too mega deep into the lore.
Chaos,
I'm going to give you a pretty solid overview of each of the different factions.
There wasn't a chaos. Is it? You mean Chaos Deep? Like... Which chaos? I don't know. I don't care. Probably not Space Marines.
And we'll discuss a little bit of the tabletop as well, in case you were curious about that. But for this episode entirely, we are discussing the Imperium of Man, because that takes up a fat chunk of Warhammer lore.
You're Chaos? I'm not Chaos, guys.
What is Warhammer 40,000? Well, the 40,000 starts off is the year 40,000. The 41st millennium, that's where it takes place, is in the year 40,000, 41,000 AD.
Okay.
You're already more knowledgeable. Let me read you a quote, first of many quotes in this video. It is the 41st millennium. For more than 100 years, the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth. He is the master of mankind by the will of the gods, and master of 1,000,000 worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is a rotting carcass, writhing invisibly with power from the dark age of technology. He is the carrion lord of the Imperium, for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day so that he may never truly die. To be
Every
a man
day.
in such times is to be amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. These are the tales of those times. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned. Forget the promise of progress and understanding, for in the grim, dark future, there is only war. There is no peace amongst the stars, only an eternity of carnage and slaughter, and the laughter of thirsting gods. Everything blows. And
Everything
it blows
sucks.
fucking hard.
Is what I
Warhammer is probably the
is what I
most
hear.
dark and depressing
Better be
universes
talking
ever
Caiaphas
in
Cain?
fiction, or at least like
Who?
top 3.
Earth
Everything
is in the
is
center
so
capital of the
absurdly
Imperium?
horrible,
Okay.
destructive, or overpowered.
So that's where
that it
the
all
Emperor, wait, the Emperor lives? So like he has a whole planet to himself and it's just Earth?
ends up canceling itself out. It's like Dota. War
Dota? I don't
rages
know what Dota
across
is.
the galaxy. Interstellar travel is only possible due to sacrificing 1,000 souls a day
Okay.
to a rotting carcass of a man who you believe.
Okay. So okay. So far, okay, let me see if I gather, let's do, let's gather a little bit. So we're in year 41,000, and there's an emperor dude, and he lives on Earth. And, like, he's important. He's important to who? Everybody or just the Space Marines? And to live forever, he has to sacrifice 1,000 people. So is he, like, gathering people from other places? Or is he, like, sacrificing his own men? Like, because, are we sacrificing 100 psychics? That's what I'm saying, per day. 1,000. Yeah, agile. That's why I kind of paused to talk about it. But, so are they his own people? Yes. Okay, so is this where that, like, breeding factory came in? I'll just watch the video, like, it's okay. But, so I assume that's where, like, those, like, breeding factories are? Okay, ads are done. Let's go.
To be your god.
Mankind
Demonic
needs to keep him
gods,
alive to be able to
demons
access
tear open
interstellar
the
travel.
fabric of reality on a whim.
So
Other
only the
Xenos
Emperor
or even
can
other
interstellar
humans
travel.
end up killing each other in
Okay.
untold billions across the galaxy. It is a time of unending war, slaughter, and a bloodbath amongst everybody. Planets are deemed unrecoverable and are completely destroyed on a whim.
Okay.
Everything sucks. But that's
Okay.
like the charm of it. See, everything in Warhammer is evil, but being evil is kind of fun. Like, humanity in its own right is a xenophobic, prejudice, and religious
Okay.
zealot group that kill each other just as much as they kill all of their enemies. And they're like,
So yeah, wait, what's the long
mid
goal
to high tier
in this
evil
world?
on the evil scale of Warhammer?
Like, what are
Nobody's
we
good.
what are we
No matter
fighting
who
for?
you are, everyone is some flavor, some color of evil. Whoever you pick, you are going to be the bad guy. But that's the fun of it. Because being the bad
everyone's
guy
bad
is
guys.
badass. Villains are cool. They look cool. They got cool outfits. They got cool weapons.
To
They got
not
cool
die.
armies.
But, like, you're
Villains are
dying
cool,
anyways.
man. And when everyone is a villain, everyone is pretty cool. That's what makes this so charming, is that everyone can be the bad guy. So let's start off talking about the main bad guy, quote unquote, the Imperium of Man.
His hair, whack. His gear,
Okay, the Imperium
whack.
and his
The
that's who we
Imperium
fought in
of Man
Space
is
Marine,
the
right?
main empire of the human race. All of humanity is under this one flag called the Imperium. And about 10,000 years ago, there was a man. He was the emperor of mankind, a 10-foot tall psychic demigod.
So we had more than one
who
emperor?
led humanity across the stars to colonize tons and tons of
But
worlds,
just not to be completely
create
wiped out. I mean, I
superhuman
guess so.
soldiers, and really bring humanity into a new age. This man, the Emperor of Mankind, was a
No,
psyker.
just
And
one.
a
Okay.
psyker is like a magician of sorts.
If you're a
in
human
the
in this,
world of
chances
40k,
of living
there is
till
the
you're old are
warp, the
slim to none.
immaterium, kind
Well, it
of
just
like
sounds like
hell,
everyone
but sort of like a
fights
purgatory dimension of hell.
for their
and a
whole life,
psyker
and
is
then
someone
they
who can
die.
take that power and manifest it through their mind to use it to do stuff. Well,
Okay.
like witchcraft stuff, magician stuff, spells,
So this is the
and lots
magic.
of other things, but we
This-
don't want to get too into that. The Emperor, big boy psyker. Top
Okay.
tier, A+, maybe even S. Now, the Emperor created a
Oh,
bunch of
he's
sons.
okay.
Yes,
He's explaining like the actual lore that the Emperor. Okay.
created a
being
bunch
like a
of
high
sons known as the
psychic.
Primarchs. He created 20,
Okay.
18 Primarchs to have them lead all of the different legions of humanity to
Okay.
the different stars and planets to help colonize and bring it out. These Primarchs are basically like little versions of the Emperor. Not all of them are psychers, but a lot of them
So
are
this
very,
is
very
all
popular.
just the Imperium faction. This isn't like we're only. That's what we're touching on now. Okay. That's. Well, the Imperium. The Imperium. Do they house the Space Marines? That's what these are, right?
Powerful, and they
Yeah.
lead his special Space Marine
This whole video is
legions.
just humans.
Then this big clusterfuck happened called the Horus Heresy, where the Emperor's
Yes.
favorite son, the Primarch, Horus, ended up joining Chaos and leading 9 other, well, I guess 8, 9 of the 18, half of his Primarchs directly to Earth to fight down the Emperor himself. Now, if you want to know what
Okay.
Chaos is, remember what I mentioned earlier, the warp, that immaterium, the hellish place?
So
in there
he's- okay.
relies the 4 Chaos gods. Imagine like
Oh,
Satan
I know them.
and
Hold
3
on. Is this the ones you were talking? I know that's Nurgle. Who is this? That's not Slanesh, is it? And then I don't know these two. Are one of these salamanders?
other Satans. The warp being kind of evil, those chaos gods, that's the reason. And so those
Okay,
chaos
we're not
gods
gonna talk about them.
manipulated Horus, and then Horus helped manipulate all 8 other Primarchs to lead this giant coup directly on the Emperor
Okay.
on Earth. And they fucked up shit. After
Okay,
this
okay.
huge civil war, Horus died, but not before brutally wounding the Emperor. And right at the end of his life, they put the Emperor on this large golden throne on Earth, in which he is now alive, just barely, but slowly rotting away,
Okay.
powering something called the Astronomicon, so long as he stays alive, and is fed 1,000 people a day. The Astronomicon is
Okay.
like the North Star. If you want to do interstellar travel in 40k, you need to pass through that demonic warp I mentioned earlier. But how do you know where you're going? Well, the Emperor is there putting a nice little navigator right there. He helps navigate you to know where
the
you're
Emperor's
going.
not
If you
really
want to go
alive,
from
alive.
Earth to some crazy solar system across the way, you need to go through that warp, and then you need to know where you're going, go through there, and pop your way out. It's like doing nether travel in Minecraft, so you can shorten the distance between going to areas. So long as the Emperor is alive and being fed 1,000 people a day to stay alive, you can do that. The moment he dies, interstellar
Okay, so
travel.
like, is it kind of just a waiting game? Because like, eventually the Emperor's gonna die, right? Like, one day. I mean, years from now, right? So like, what's the goal for like when you can't travel interstellarly?
is gone for all of humanity. You're so boned. Now, since the
Okay,
Horus
okay,
Heresy
that's
10,000
it,
years
okay.
ago, the Imperium has fallen from grace substantially. All technology has started to dwindle and die. There is now giant fundamental religious extremists that now believe the Emperor of Mankind was a deity, a true living god, which is probably the last thing the Emperor would have wanted to be remembered for. So now you have this thing called the Ecclesiarchy, which is this giant church entirely devoted to spreading the good word of the Emperor. He is now
Okay.
the Holy Emperor God, the God Emperor of mankind, and all of the
So those are the
Imperium
religious
has
people
taken up
in the-
worshiping him to the fullest extent and killing anything that isn't humanity in his name. The Imperium has this futuristic gothic tone to it and a hefty religious zealotry to them. If you think anything against the Emperor, that's heresy and you deserve to die. That is called being a heretic.
So they're the religious Space Marines. They're the Emperor is our religion taking over worlds that don't believe in the Emperor. These are the religion Space Marines.
Heretics die in 40k. There is no such thing as freedom of religion. There is no such thing as freedom of speech, so long as you are against the Emperor. There is no such thing as any kind of tolerance. Everyone is a religious zealot. Some more than others, but no matter what, you're preaching that good word. So right now, everyone in humanity is trying to expand their empire across the stars. If you are a heretic, someone who doesn't believe in the Emperor, you are deserving of death. If you believe in the Chaos Gods, you are also a heretic and you deserve death. If you are an alien race of any kind, you are a filthy Xenos and you deserve death as well. So long as the murder continues and humanity expands, the Imperium of Man is very,
Emperor.
very
It sounds like.
However, the largest fighting force of this Imperium is my personal favorite faction, and the first faction we'll discuss,
let me take my blanket off and really welcome you in here.
Also known as the Imperial Guard.
Pretty shit now, man.
We're doing Warhammer lore. We finished yesterday. We did a whole 8-hour run through of the Space Marines 2 game, and we finished it. So we're spending our comfy Monday watching some lore videos. Yeah, I heard believing in heresy is pretty cool. You should join. Well, everyone thinks Basil leans towards Nurgle. So I don't know how to take that. But we'll see. Whoever has the hottest god, and they are playing. Are you like actively playing? I can't pull up your thing, but that is Violetta. Really good. Glad I could catch you. Yes, I'm glad you stopped by. I'm very happy to see you here. When are you streaming next, pal? I'll try to stop by and get glad to you. Don't worry, we do not expect good spelling or manners in this chat. We are so don't worry. I don't spell like anything, right? Sage, welcome back. Are you just like using my confusion of lore? Yeah, there's Sage. Look, everyone's here. It's a little what some boomers call them, a powwow. A little hopefully tonight if you feel better. Oh my gosh, listen, I just got over some nasty, so I hope you get better very fast. I just got over it. So like 11? Okay, perfect. I'll probably lurk on my phone. Well, I'm lurking in core stream right now as well too. So I'll lurk, but I'll probably still be streaming as well around 11. So we'd love to see you here. Yeah, Sage is here just chilling. God, I've already lost my train of thought with
The Imperial Guard is the main fighting force of the Imperium, and in a world of horrifying creatures, galactic monstrosities, the literal demons themselves breaking through the fabric of time to kill you.
These people, this is the Emperor, and he's on Earth. So all these people are also like Earthlings. And they're like going out and like killing everyone because they don't believe in the Emperor. Yeah? I think I'm keeping on this, but they're not Space Marines. They just look like Space Marines. Just got back from a convention and today I started getting super dry. Oh no. It's the con crud. I hate that for you. I totally understand. Yeah, there's the con. Everyone knows what the con crud. And it's absolutely, listen, I thought I was safe. The most recent con I went to, I wore a mask, everything, and I still got some nasty after a while. Fucking NyQuil saved me. I don't know if it's NyQuil or Mucinex, I don't know. NyQuil, I think. Thank the normal soldiers we fought alongside. Oh, okay. Oh, better not be the vid. You gotta keep that to yourself.
The Imperial Guard are untold.
I hope it's not for you. I hope it's just
regular
something
men
simple,
and
easy.
women wearing modern day like flak armor with a laser rifle. This is the humble las gun. the main weapon of the Imperial Guard.
This is just like
it
Earth
fires
Army.
superheated plasma lasers at an extremely fast fire rate. It is reliable, never jams. It can blow off limbs, giant holes in concrete. It is overall an extremely devastating weapon in modern day.
But
it
like
is
now, it's
one of the weakest in the 40k universe.
Oh,
yeah, a laser
no.
rifle that never jams. It could blow off limbs. One of the weakest weapons. That's the world we're in right now.
Normal
But
dudes fighting
who cares?
cosmic horrors.
Because the Imperial Guard has in each
And they're doing
battle
it for the Emperor.
500,000 of these men and women.
'Cause he's
30,000
God,
large
and, you know,
armored tanks, 10,000
normal
artillery
dudes have to
batteries.
believe in
the
some kind of
Imperial
God,
Guard
right?
wins through sheer numbers and firepower. They kind of have this World War I, World War II style aesthetic with legions of guardsmen as well as high company commanders and generals on the field along with them and multiple kinds of troops. A normal Imperial
these don't
Guard
look
battle
like never
starts
mind. They
off
don't look like
with
Space
artillery,
Marines.
long lines of artillery cracking the crust of the planet underneath the enemy's feet. And as this barrage
It's just always the
continues,
armor that always
hundreds
like
of
looks the
thousands
same.
of guardsmen, a sea of guardsmen surges forward, firing and charging at everything possible while the
how do we get all these people not only to feed the Emperor, but like to fight for the Emperor?
Block out the sun and
where are the people
tanks
coming
block
from?
out the dirt with the steps and hoof prints of millions of guardsmen. It is through numbers and sheer sundering firepower. They are the first and last line of defense for the Imperium.
You're a
huge
freak.
bulk of
Who
the
did that?
battles. The Imperial Guards also have tons of different kinds of regiments.
Time
the
Stone
Catachan
just
jungle
subscribed with
fighters
Prime.
live in a
Hi,
death
Time
world
Stone.
that's more
Welcome
hospitable than
in.
almost any firefight
Thank you for
they'll ever get
subbing.
into.
I love that.
So they
Thank
just
you.
have this steroid-looking,
You're our
giant knife,
official
Rambo
cave
predator-looking sons of bitches, where
There's a
nothing
million
is
of planets with
anywhere near as
millions of
scary
people
as a simple
each.
knight on their home planet.
Okay.
You have the Valhallan winter soldiers who haven't felt their
Oh,
toes
so there's
in
more than
300
Earth
years.
that
the
believes in the
Mordian
Emperor.
Iron Guard, who are more interested in making their shoes shine than actually fighting a battle. And then, of course, the big one, the Cadians. From
Cadians. I've heard that.
Cadia.
Is that who we helped fight last night?
The biggest export of guardsmen in the entirety of the Imperium.
Or not
you will
fight, but,
fire
like,
your
fought
first
with.
gun at 5. You will disassemble and reassemble it at 10. You will have
Gotta be
pounding
lurking for a
artillery
bit. That's okay,
drills
Violetta.
day
This
in
is
and
a
day
good
out
lurk
at
stream to have
15,
on in the
and you'll
background.
fight your first Swarm Lord at
It's like listening
16.
to a
And if you
podcast.
mention Cadia, you will burst into an unrelenting amount of tears and sadness like I do daily. To quote, I have at my command an entire battle group of the Imperial Guard, 50 regiments including specialized drop troops, stealthers, mechanized formations, armored companies, combat engineers, and mobile artillery. Over 500,000 fighting men and 30,000 tanks and artillery pieces are mine to command. Emperor, show mercy to the fool that stands against me, for I shall not. The Imperial Guard are my personal favorite faction in 40k.
That's got some aura
They're
to
the
it.
army I collect the most, the ones I enjoy playing the most, and the one I enjoy in the lore sense a lot. There's something about just a regular man with a laser rifle being told to charge the horrors of this universe and willingly doing so for his god emperor. It's just poetic. They actually represent the main Imperial Guard tactics pretty well.
Oh yeah,
Large
these are
amounts
just
of
normal guys.
artillery
Like
that
this
doesn't
is just an
require a
army.
line
This
of
is like
sight,
the U.S.
lots
Army.
of tanks, tons of
This is-
infantry, drop troops, and gunships. Overall, they're pretty similar to how they sound, though a little bit expensive to collect, unfortunately. And they don't hit a lot. They have a bit of a bad aim, but you don't really care because you're just drowning them in shots.
Okay.
However, if you want more accurate fire and specialization, we can move on to talk about Space Marines.
Ah, here we go. Space Marines.
The Angels of Death are up next. Space Marines are genetically engineered super soldiers and superhumans. They're given extra organs. Their skin tissue is toughened. Their bones are stronger. They're
Is
taller
this the
than
gene
average
seed we were talking
person.
about?
They're pretty massive people, and these are the specialized.
So these are the Space Marines. What do we know about Space Marines? That's what we played last night. There's a thing called a gene seed, which is where they get the extra organs and stuff. So they have like just an extra in case one gets damaged, which is weird. I don't quite know how a body works like that.
Sage Chronoma just redeemed care package.
Care package, thank you. Yeah. You know, in my brain, taking like anatomy, it just like it's not comprehending. But um, but okay, so they have two sets of organs. Um, aren't they like almost like lobotomized in a way? Because like they don't have fear, they don't feel like need for family. Like they're just kind of like built for the emperor and only the emperor, right? Gene Seed is one of the extra organs. It's like, oh, it's the one that gives them the traits. Indoctrinated and not lobotomized. Okay. But lobotomies do happen. Kind of. Interesting. Okay. So gene seed is the organ that makes them them. So that's not the extra organs. They just have those. Okay. 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 To normal people, yes. Okay.
Super
Let's keep it going.
soldiers that carry out a lot of the more specific tasks for the Imperium, and there's tons of legions of them. In fact, there's one per Primarch. Each Primarch, the Emperor's son, as I mentioned before, oversees their legion of Space Marines. The genetic upgrade they get is based on the genes of said Primarch. It's something called a gene seed. That's what brings them up to this like, superhuman level. As stated, each Primarch has their own legion.
I was ahead of my time.
Burly Man has the Ultramarines, Jagatai Khan has the White Scars, Rogel Dorn has the Imperial Fists, Corvus Corax has the Raven Guard. There's a whole bunch of other side sections that are
we
also
learning about all of these today?
And have a little bit more of a twist on the average Space Marines, which we will discuss in a bit. Humorously enough, I don't have a whole lot to say about Space Marines. They're superhumanly fast. In fact, it's been said that nothing that large should move that quick. These men in power armor moving at blazing fast speeds. Their reflexes are faster. Their skin is tougher. They are overall just extremely powerful soldiers.
They're just
in fact,
superhuman.
where they differ comes down to which Space Marine Legion we're talking about. For instance, the Ultramarines done by Robot Gilliman are the main blue boys. Strong in almost every way.
That's
the
what
jack
we
of all
played last
trades
night.
kind of group that are a little bit too strong, and that's a lore problem. But the White Scars by Jagatai Khan are all about speed freaks, go fast. We're talking attack bikes. We're talking land speeders. You want to go in quick. You want to hit them hard. You want them to be swarming around like buzzflies, buzz saws, with the speed of buzz saws.
Okay, I don't know what a buzzsaw is.
Fuck you, Pale King.
Is that the
Salamanders love fire. Fire in the forge,
Okay.
fire in battle. Flamers, melta-guns, multi-meltas. Just so long as something can be burning, that's big. And they're also actually some of the nicest of the Space Marines.
That's
a lot
the
of
green
Space
ones.
Marines have this kind of like holier-than-thou thing because of their genetic strength. However, the Salamanders tend to put human lives above the lives of themselves, which is actually rather rare. They're also all black, but not like just regular black, like 2 a.m. line at a White Castle black. Like they have a charcoal, dark, ashy exterior and blazing red eyes. Apparently something about living on their home planet of Nocturne.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes much
he
sense,
answers my
but
questions.
who cares? This is like fantasy land anyway. Overall, Salamanders are actually one of my personal favorite legions because they're just really cool. They're fun to play as because of all their flamer weapons, and they have a nice, like, more heartwarming lore as opposed to being super evil like everyone else is. Oh my god, we're
I feel
not
like
even
a lot of
quarter
people
the way
like
through Space
Salamanders.
Marine Legions. Imperial Fists believe in the power of the siege and defensive
there's
positions.
some lobotomized
Raven
babies.
Guards, master of stealth and sabotage while having burn helmets. Iron Hands,
cool.
masters of machines and vehicles while being really goddamn good at being sold on eBay after one nerf. Space Wolves, Vikings and wolves, tons of wolves and axes, battle axes,
I don't know, they
fur
look cool.
everywhere. Space Wolves, angry, big teeth, Blood Angels, the genetic defect to make them want to drink blood and go crazy called the Red Thirst. They have Cupid wings and stuff, which is a little bit strange, and they are all super gay for Sanguinius. Dark Angels are old school knights and inner circle theme and...
Are you a heretic?
Me? No, never.
No, never.
Death Watch, a fancy anti-Xenos group that nobody plays because Death Watch, and they look cool though, but no one plays them. I don't know about Death Watch. They're there though. Black Templars, for the people who, if you haven't prayed at least 3 times a day, you're gonna start praying out that airlock. And I'm sure there's some other chapters I may have missed as well, like Crimson Fists and stuff. But those are the main ones right here. Here. Quote from the Emperor himself.
Oh, for the
They
Emperor
shall be
himself?
my finest warriors, these men who give of themselves to me. Like clay I shall mold them, and in the furnace of war I shall forge them. They shall be of iron will and steely sinew. In great armor I
Okay.
shall clad them, and with the mightiest weapons shall they be armed. They will be untouched by plague or disease, no sickness shall blight them. They shall have such tactics, strategies, and machines that no foe will best them in battle. They are my bulwark against the terror. They are my defenders of humanity. They are my space marines, and they shall know no fear. And on the tabletop,
Oh.
they fuck. Oh, they fuck hard. As of making
I like that. Wait, and they fuck. They fuck hard. He's so goofy. Okay. Like I said, his edits are keeping me, I think, very interested. So these are, okay, let me get it right. So there's chapters, and those are like the Space Marines and like the other guys, right? And like the other guys. But Space Marines themselves are like a chapter that has like different factions. So like each, oh gosh, that's a lot, guys. And everyone is evil, the nice guys stand out. I don't, but like, do you want to like the nice guys? I mean, like, morally, I feel like we do. Yeah, welcome in, Alien. We're doing, yeah, you can watch more lore. You can watch more of it right now with me. It's a little watch along together. Come on. Yeah, he makes the lore fun. Like, I'm not just being here, like, just sitting here talk to. So that, okay, so I'm understanding.
this
I'm
video,
kind of
Space Marines
understanding.
are laughably
And the more like I
strong. That
say it
might
out loud
change
to
at some
myself
point,
too, I'll
but
remember it
overall,
more.
Space Marines just have it's like a Swiss Army knife, a
Okay.
tool for anything you need, except it's like a gold-plated Swiss Army knife. It is extremely strong. If you are actually getting into the tabletop of Warhammer, Space
I don't know
Marines
if I
are a
will.
great start. Also, whatever gameplay style you have, whether you want to be sit back with long range and heavy weaponry,
So when it
go
comes
fast.
to like the Space Marines, the really only difference between each of their factions is like the weapons they use and what they stand for. It seems like. So does that mean all the Space Marines get along, or does that mean like Space Marines exist, but Space Marines don't like each other? Like, are they all split off, or do they fight together for the Emperor? Nope, ton of civil wars. Okay, so they don't get along. Okay. So, do they not get along because of what they believe in? But, like, everyone believes in the Emperor, right? Their legions have different personalities, values, and tactics, but generally they can all work together decently. Okay. But again, like, they're all ones that believe in the Emperor, right? They just have different, like, values and stuff. Chaos Marines, though, are all bad. Okay. We haven't gotten there yet. Okay, okay.
And run in, or even just full melee.
I
All of
don't
these
see
options
anything
are
about the wolf guys ever. Like, I do not know what they are.
totally there for you. Space Marines are super badass, but unfortunately, it's time we start praying to our new god, the 2011 Honda Civic.
Who
So
is
is it
this?
any wonder
The
people are
Adeptus
afraid
Me-
of technology?
Oh, these are the guys who
The
research the
Adeptus
robots.
Mechanicus. The Adeptus Mechanicus are a technophile cult on Mars. Now,
Okay.
these people are a little bit weird because they don't actually really believe in the Emperor of Mankind. And you might think, oh, whoa, Bricky, that sounds like some heresy.
So okay.
A little bit.
So-
They believe in the Emperor, they believe in his power, but they don't pray to him. They pray to something called the Omnissiah. And the Omnissiah is this kind of machine god that they believe permeates in all machines. And if you think, well, wait a minute, they believe in a different god as well? That sounds like super heresy. Well, yes-ish, but they also make all your guns, and they make
Okay, well, technically, doesn't a machine keep the Emperor alive anyways, technically? So, like, I guess in some weird, convoluted, not as much heresy way, they kind of are praying to the Emperor. There's 9 Loyal Legions and 9 Chaos Legions. Okay. The first Space Marines Remastered is free on Game Pass. I don't have Game Pass. I could, though.
all your
I just don't.
tanks, and they make everything that you have.
Oh, so yeah, you can't really argue with them,
So
can you?
you can't really tell them to fuck off because you're not gonna win nothing if you don't got stuff to shoot people with. See, their
that's true.
Omnissiah at least makes sense from their standpoint. They believe it to be a deity that permeates through all machines. Your Honda Civic, your standard bolt gun, your Dune Strider Walker, your giant mechs, your huge ships. The Omnissiah is present through all.
Okay, so do these guys make everything for everybody, or they specifically work with like certain legions? Or do they make everything for everybody? Everything for mankind. Okay, so they don't work with anyone specific. Okay.
The only reason your stuff works is because the machine's spirit in it says it works. If you want your gun to work, your tank to run, you must pray to it.
Wait, I kind of
And
fuck
I
with these
mean
guys.
Full stop. You need to start chanting in high Gothic. You need to burn incense. You need to sit on your knees and pray to that car. You need to rub oil on your robes, and you need to go ahomina, homina, 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 homina. Full stop. If you want your damn thing to work, if you want your gun to fire, you need to do that. They are
I am
very
live, but
bizarre.
can't confirm
and
this is a
they
good
actually
autistic
have a bit
podcast
of a
to learn.
point because it's obviously working.
Good, I'm glad.
And if you look at them, I don't know how that works. So they obviously know something about what they're doing. The most notable member of the Adeptus Mechanicus is
Adeptus
Archmagos,
Mechanicus.
Magos, whatever.
Okay.
Belisarius Call. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Yeah.
I kind of like these
This
guys.
is the group we're talking about. These are these weirdos. Here, the Omnissiah Creed.
Omnissiah
The credo, Omnissiah. There is no truth in flesh, only betrayal. There is no strength in flesh, only weakness. There is no constancy in flesh, only decay. There is no certainty in flesh, but death.
That's a fucking bar. That is so good. That is so good. Listen, what if I'm an Adeptus Mechanicus kind of person? Would y'all like think I'm gross? Would I be committing? Would y'all say heresy? Like, but like I make your weapons, so like eat shit. I kind of like these guys. I kind of fuck. Nah, yeah, I like these guys.
Flesh is weakness, flesh is death. The Omnissiah is the god of the machines. And
Would
if
it be?
you
Yeah,
wish
it's
to
not
be
heresy,
whole,
technically.
If you wish to be holy, if you wish to give unto him, you must saw down your limbs and remove your organs and replace them with mechanical parts, because that is what he wants, and that is how you will become enlightened.
Wait, no, it fucks. We know you're nerdling. I think I need like a loyal legion and a chaos legion. Like I need like one of each, I feel like. And like obviously I guess everyone wants me to be like a little fucking nerdling for the chaos legion. I'm kind of into the cyborg cult, not gonna lie. Kind of fucking with it. Kind of fucking with it.
Mixed with religious extremism. Adeptus Mechanicus. Now, for their army side of things, they are with the Scutari. The Scutari operate with very bizarre weaponry and lots of different kinds of vehicles, tanks, and different people in between. They're very weird, but they have extremely wacky and enjoyable, and in fact quite effective both in the real game and in the lore, weaponry and gear. Overall, as an army on the tabletop, they're very weird and have a whole bunch of different shenanigans. But if you like kind of that quirky, wacky techno thing, I'd give them a pickup. Hell, they're so paranoid. I gotta keep going. They're so paranoid and crazy. These Dune Striders you see right here, one guy was able to make them work. One guy, and he died. And they're so scared they'll never work again that they keep them on and they never turn them off, and they run around in a circle the whole time until they need them, and then they corral it and they go to battle.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Wait, these guys kind of fuck. Shut up.
Now, if you want to talk about faith, though,
these are good. I like them.
Let's talk about the Sisters of Battle.
Oh, Oh, what are these? Bricky has a video for both Adeptus and Chaos. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of in the Discord in the game suggestions a while ago. I think Stitch dropped a bunch of the Warhammer videos. I don't know if that one's in there, but I'm sure I can find it pretty easy.
Falling for an eagle in Lego
I've heard of
City.
these ladies.
The Sisters of Battle of the Adeptus Sororitas, if that's how I pronounce it
Adeptus
correctly,
Sororitas
is an
is the
all-female
women of
group
battle or
of
whatever.
battle sisters going through the ecclesiarchy section of the Imperium. The ecclesiarchy is, of course, the church. This is, imagine a private army
The
of the church.
sexiest.
Which is
Nuns with
scary,
guns? Wait,
and it
where's
is.
Violetta? Violetta! We found your faction!
The sisters are an extremely zealotous force, and they take this to a full extreme. They believe in three main things: faith, martyrdom, and fire. Through the bolter, the flamer, and the melta, the Sisters of Battle are extremely potent at taking out chaos and heretics. Mainly heretics, because as they are a fighting section of the ecclesiarchy church, that's the big thing they want to kill. Any form of heretic will face the Emperor's justice through those three main weapons: the bolter, the flamer, and the melta, and they will do so with extreme prejudice. Literally. They are the closest things we have to nuns in space. And I'm talking hardcore.
The sisters are the army.
They carry holy fire.
Somehow
on
that
their
makes
backs.
sense
They
for
have
you.
holy books and sigils all across their armor. Their main battle tank is a fucking pipe organ missile launcher.
Yeah, that kind of
They
goes
have
hard.
Small babies that they have
that's the
removed their
lobotomized
brain
babies.
capacity to make them little servant cherubs to fly around and give them ammunition and shit. They drop churches from low orbit as mini drop pods onto battles. They drop churches into battles, and they blare war hymns and holy music from their frigates in low atmosphere and shower holy water across the battlefield. These are the people you are dealing with, and they're fucking awesome. They can literally stave off demons on the tabletop because their faith is that strong. Remember the warp, the demons from the warp? Well, the warp also manifests in your mind. All of your emotions, negative and positive, go through the warp.
Let's hit a pause. So okay. Let's recap. I like the Adeptus Mechanicus because I like that they believe in the Omni Messiah. Okay. And that's who they pro to. Because they make the guns and everything that keeps people alive and shit like that. Okay. They replace their body parts with machines because that's what the Omni Messiah wants. Got it. They make the weapons for everybody. Okay. And Sisters of War. Is that what it is? Sisters of Battle, right? They're the Adeptus. What? I don't know what it was. They just are aggressively spreading the word of the Emperor with fire. Is what I've gathered. They are okay. Adeptus Sororitas. Okay. Oh, kind of like sorority. Okay. Yeah, like a college sorority. Okay. We're on the same brain cell. It kind of bounced back and forth. Okay. So, okay. Okay, I think I'm getting a hang of it.
It's the immaterium, the place of all things. So if you are that mentally fortified, that mentally strong, you can stave off horrifying demons. And all these girls, not a crack. Not a crack in that mental armor. Now, as much as a meme as they are, and as much as their models look a lot like Ongo Gabloglian, which I can't unsee anymore. I gotta say, I love their design.
What if
think
I
they're
get a bunch of
extremely
these and
cool.
paint them
They're
girly
another
pop
army that I'm
pink?
currently collecting. They just released a whole new line of figures very recently, and they look wonderful. Everything from Celestine, the
Like
living,
cunty
literally
pink.
undying saint, from the triumph of Saint Catherine, which is literally a funeral procession as a model. Those organ tanks I mentioned earlier. This shit is the most over-the-top badassery in
Okay.
a lot of the Warhammer universe, and goddamn it, is it over the top. But Sisters of Battle are so cool. While I'm a guardsman at heart, this is such a cool faction. By Bolter Shell, Flamer Burst, and Melta Blast, the mutant, the heretic, and the traitor alike are cleansed of their sin of existence.
Okay.
So it has been for 5 millennia, so shall it be until the end of time.
All of these kinda
And
go hard.
Speaking of burning demons,
I can see.
The Grey Knights? Who the fuck are the Grey Knights?
the Grey Knights are the first army I actually collected back in 7th edition. The Grey Knights are a super
Oh, they're
secretive
the pirates.
and much more old school look at power armored knights, except they are all psychers. All of them have
Wait,
that
did I say
crazy
pirates? Are they
space
knights or
magic
pirates?
magician shit. For every 100,000 guardsmen, there's 1 Grey Knight. For every 10,000 Sisters of Battle, there's 1
If you want agent to criticize me, to see therapist and social media.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Who was that, Boku? Hi, Boku. Thank you. Yeah, okay. No, they're loyal. So these, okay. I thought it said pirates. Did it not say pirates? Am I like actually going crazy? So, okay, the Sisters of Battle. Okay. Listen, I like them. They're baddies, okay? Why did it play twice? Did it really? Oh, because I had the desktop audio on, sorry. I'm pretty sure that's exactly why. Sorry. Actually, I don't know. I don't know why I played twice. Let me, hold on. I'm gonna play one. Just don't worry about it. That's why. Okay. It should be, I should have fixed it now. Sorry, it was playing through the desktop actually. But like I'm still on the Adeptus Mechanicus. I think I'm still riding with that.
Grey Knight. For every 1,000 Space Marines, there's 1 Grey Knight. Grey Knights are the strongest of the strong, both in mental will
so there's
and
not as many of
absolute
these
just
guys.
strength. These are Space Marines that are all high-level psychers, all of them able to specifically do one goal, and that is kill demons. The Emperor believed that the demons of chaos were the #1 threat to the Imperium, and he probably is right. However, this group is entirely based on doing that through a myriad of tactics. Coming from the planet, or I guess the moon of Titan in the Sol system.
So are we still like in the, like our solar system? Like, because I've heard Earth, we have Mars, we have Titan, the moon that they're on, which I think is like one of the planet's moons. So like we're in like our universe, but just like year 41,000. And Grey Knights are picked from other Marine legions, and they're all psychic. Okay, so they're okay. So the Space Marines, which have 9 legions, they're picked from there. Okay, and so they're the strongest of the strong, is what I'm hearing, and we are in the Milky Way galaxy. Okay. Okay. 9 loyal legions, yes.
The Grey Knights are thrown through extremely rigorous training and are as clear of mind and soul as they possibly can be. Since the demons of the warp are the warp and your mind projects to the warp, people can go insane very fast, especially lower level psychers. These Grey Knights need to be able to harness the warp in the presence of demons and stay perfectly sane. One of their characters, one of my favorite characters, is named Castellan Crow. He has a demon blade, the black blade of Mahamahama, and he has to have it on him because it tempts everyone nearby, constantly beckoning them. Use my power, use my strength, suck my penis, whatever the possibility. And so he has to keep it on him all the time as this thing whispers
So it's like
to him
the One Ring.
consistently, and he has to
The
stave it
Death Watch
off
is two picks from other
forever,
chapters.
being alone in
Okay.
his chambers or on the battlefield, because anyone who gets too close to it might be tempted a little too hard. He is that pure of heart and mind, and all the characters in the Grey Knights are basically like that. The only issue is that Grey Knights have a scorched earth policy, more ways than one. If they're fighting demons, demons corrupt and make people crazy.
Yeah.
So if I'm a guardsman and I'm fighting demons and the Grey Knights arrive and they kill all the demons, I'm a risk.
Oh.
So guess who's not making it out of there? On the tabletop,
So they're the
very
ones
strike
that kill
fast, strike
people
hard
that,
kind of
like, if
people.
they experience or see like a demon, you're also dead because now you've been exposed, right? Like they take those people out. Okay, so they're out there killing everybody. Okay.
They teleport all around the place. They are fast strike groups, small amounts of models because they're so dang strong. You only have so many characters, but with it, you get in there, you're very tough, very tanky, you hit really hard, and you try to bounce around the battlefield quickly, but you don't have numbers, and so every dead Grey Knight hits really damn hard. They're fun, though, if you like that kind of fast-striking kind of army. Oh, and also, Caldor Drago is a thing. We're not even going to get into Caldor Drago.
Okay.
All right, that is, oh my goodness gracious. I am the hammer. I am the mail about his fist. I am the spear in his hand. Though we are lost, I am the shield on his arm. I am the flight of his arrows. I am the hammer. I am the sword. I am the shield. I am a soldier at the battle at the end of time.
Okay.
Grey Knights are pretty hardcore. They are as holy as you can get for a Space Marine.
Yeah,
if
I
you
would
like
say
Space
so.
Marines and you want to, that they're holy enough, you want to be holier? Grey Knights. Now, if you want to be holier and big, let's talk Imperial
Oh,
Knights.
what? Oh. I feel like I've
Do
heard
you
of these
like
guys.
gigantic walkers the size of homes or medium-sized buildings? Do you want to kill heretics, but you want to kill like 40 of them per turn?
Okay.
Do you want a gigantic old-school knight noble house style of walkers with giant
Imperial
chainsaw
Knights. Oh
arms?
yeah,
Then
maybe
you got
you've
Imperial
mentioned them
Knights.
before. Maybe
Imperial
that's how
Knights, it's not
I
a
feel
whole
like
lot
I've
to
just
talk
heard
about
of them.
because they're just gigantic walkers, but they have this old school like house feel to them. Like literally like they're houses.
Okay.
Each Imperial Knight comes from a house, and each of them act in their own special way. These behemoth of walkers also destroy almost everything in their path, killing full swaths of squads in a couple shots, stepping on legions of troops.
So-
like these things.
Are these like they're just like their own people? They don't work with like the Space Marines? They don't. They do. Okay. Let me hit a stretch while we're here. Hold on. Ugh. Okay. They are their own thing, but they're still under the Imperial umbrella. Okay. Okay. They're both Chaos and Loyal Imperial. Okay. But they're still like their own thing. It's just like everyone's armor looks like a fucking Space Marine. So it's like it's throwing me off. Everything just looks the same.
Do not mess around, and they look so cool. Imperial Knights and Chaos Knights, actually, for that matter, don't have a whole lot to discuss. They're just super big, heavy walkers, and they look different depending on your house or Chaos God you currently believe in. And overall, these things are just really cool if you want to murder everything in your path. They're the big, scary, big unit of Warhammer, and if you want to collect them, go to town. They make for a great painting project, too. Getting more back down to earth. Let's talk something about a little bit different, a little more gold.
These are piloted. Think Pacific
If
Rim.
guardsmen are regular soldiers, Space Marines
Oh,
are
okay.
super soldiers. Grey Knights are
So
super
who's
super
piloting
soldiers.
them? Like
The
regular
Adeptus
people, Space
Custodes
Marines, like
are
just
super soldiers
whoever?
cubed. The Adeptus Custodes are the third major army I own.
Custodes?
I know, 3 armies. I know. I got carried away. Okay.
3
but
armies.
that's all.
He's
I only
got
have 3,
money.
okay? They are our final brand of Space
Nobles.
Marines, but these ones are super special. Okay, if a guardsman is 6 foot, a Space Marine is 7 feet, a custodian is 8 feet. These are the giant defenders of Holy Terra, which is also Earth. Earth is Terra. Earth, Terra. Themselves. These are the people that literally guard the Emperor's throne.
Yeah, okay, what he just said. They live on Earth and they protect the Emperor.
Hence, Custodes. These boys protect the Emperor's throne room at all times and are literally like handcrafted people. They're not humans brought up by a gene seer or something. These are all handcrafted super soldiers. I think
So
from
they're
a tube.
made.
These behemoth of men are like 8 feet, 8.5 feet tall, and functionally immortal. They stand still, spear in hand, for hundreds of years without the need to sleep and barely even the need to eat, watching over the throne room and every other area of Holy Terra for their entire purpose in life. And oh my lord, are they
That's
terrifying.
crazy to
These
me.
custodians put Space Marines to shame. If you liked your super soldiers, these are your super mega soldiers. One of these men can take on probably 3 Space Marines and most likely win. There are many different groups of custodians as well, like the Solar Watch, or there's also one of my personal favorite, the Aquilin Shield. The Aquilin Shield go out
They're the
to
Emperor's
seemingly
personal
unimportant
guards.
individuals and protect them because they believe that they are going to be doing something very important in their lives. For instance, let's say a regular guardsman gets the protection of this giant 8.5 foot tall golden god because that guardsman will end up becoming a general one day or something of that nature. The custodians work in mysterious ways and are almost always outnumbered.
I mean, I guess you don't
but
know
never
any
outmatched.
better, but like imagine
These
your whole
people
life is
are
just like
pretty horrifying, both on the tabletop as well as in
spoken
the lore.
for.
There are very few of them, however, and there's actually an extremely small amount of them. But that's kind of the point. There's only so many of these people that can have war gear this strong, weapons this powerful, and training this good. And the custodians have all 3 of it. For 100 years, I stood my watch amidst the somber shadows of the Sanctum Imperialis. I was still as a statue, but always ready, always attuned to dangers unseen. Days, months, years passed by in a frenzied blur beyond those walls, yet within little moved and nothing changed. For 100 years I did not but wait, yet had any threat appeared I would have struck it down in a heartbeat. For 100 years I stood my watch, and as it ends I can tell you this: patience is a weapon. The custodians
all these are
are
really
the
good,
top dogs
to be honest.
of the
Every time he
Imperium,
reads one,
and
I
they
think it's
hurt
just really
just
good.
that same way. Though I do want to discuss a little bit about the Sisters of Silence before we get out of here, because the Sisters of Silence I also have a few of, and they're really fun, but they don't get enough attention. These kind
there's
of
another
bald
sisterhood.
plume ladies are a whole group of pariahs, or also known as blanks. We'll be referring to them as blanks from now on. So as every mind is somewhat connected to the warp, these blanks are a genetic mutation that has it suppressed heavily. Because of that mind suppression, normal people feel this weird, like, uncomfortable nature when around them. When a Sister of Silence walks past them, you feel ill. You feel just uncomfortable and strange. So most of them don't actually live past childhood, because once they are birthed, they're, well, you know, killed or something at a very young age, because they just emit a horrifying aura. These ladies, however, are guardians of the throne as well for more psychic threats. See, none of the custodians are psychers, so they have a difficult time dealing with major demons and other kinds of psychic phenomena. These sisters are extremely specialized in it, all of them taking a vow of silence as they don't speak, hence the term Sisters of Silence, but they communicate through hand gestures and things of that nature. But if there's a demon issue, if there's any kind of warp-based problem, the sisters are extremely adept at dealing with them, thanks to their blank gene. They normally work a lot of time with the custodians because they have to deal with both kinds of threats, but they're not represented that way on the tabletop. In fact, they only have like one real model for them, which is very unfortunate. I hope they'll get something new soon, because I think they should really be working
see, I've never
together as
heard
it
of
is that way
those.
in the lore, but hopefully we'll get there soon. But if we're talking about blanks, Let's talk assassins.
Oh. So blanks are like their own kind of
It's been a long video. We're about to round it out. We got this and one more human thing, and then we're done. The assassins, though, the Officio Assassinorum. Oh boy, these people are deadly. Yeah, they're called assassins. They should be, but oh man, these people will mess you up. So these are from the Officio Assassinorum, a very special organization, and they are handpicked by the Grand Master of the Officio Assassinorum from the, what was it called? Schola Progenium. It's basically an orphan school. Your parents got murdered by demons or something. You get sent to this, and you get trained to be whatever.
To the warp,
Tempestus Drop Troop, Inquisitor, maybe even. Maybe you get a blank gene, and you get thrown into the Sisters of Silence, or some.
If they have no connection to the warp, does that mean they fight for the Emperor? Because like the only reason people like the Emperor is because he controls and allows the warp, right? But like, what if you don't care about the warp? Do you just not care about the Emperor? Like, do they not fight for anything specifically? Is that what I'm to gather? I think that's what I'm gathering. We allow people to travel through the warp, which inhumanity needs in order to travel space. The warp isn't exactly evil, it's more like an entity. Well, that's what I'm saying. If they have no connection to it, do they not care about the Emperor? Because, like, the Emperor is the reason why we have the warp. So if they don't care about the warp, they don't care about the Emperor, right? Or am I just overthinking it? Regular humans cannot have a connection. Well, that's what I'm saying. These ladies here, they don't have a connection. So they don't care about the Emperor. I don't know, bro.
Sometimes you just disappear. When you are taken, however, you go to one
the
of
warp
4
exists
temples
with or without the Emperor.
Assassinorum works in a temple style of things.
Oh, he allows them to. Oh, he's the reason they can travel through it. But like the warp is there. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm understanding now. Yes, okay. I'm fine.
These temples are the Vindicare, Caluxus, Calidus, and Eversor temples. Let's start with the Vindicare. I'm far away. I've been sitting here for 3 weeks. Poof! The Vindicare temple is the main sniper-based temple. Gigantic sniper rifles for all these assassins. Their whole point is to be able to be in a spot and sit there, eye and scope, for weeks, waiting for their perfect target, taking people out from literal miles away after extremely long time periods. The Vindicare temple is about precise, perfect aim. There have been reports of Vindicares being able to single out particular body parts from over 2-3 miles away.
So they're like
Temples
literally
in
the widow.
head, the jugular, for instance, and been sitting there after weeks. And when they're ready, take that shot. Time is done. Packs them up. The Calidus temple, however, is a lot more about shape-shifting and deviant art. It's mostly a female-based one, or at least it seems to be, and this allows a lot of body augmentation for certain individuals to be able to kind of transmorph themselves and infiltrate areas that are problems. These assassins will end up taking missions that take them years, 2-3 years, to infiltrate a heretical group and slowly work their way up just to get enough time to put a bullet into the main target's head and then escape unharmed.
I feel like maybe that's
Or
an easy job to have.
become the main target and
You, like,
sabotage
just
it
be
from
the
within.
sniper.
These are all completely about deception, mind tricks, polymorphing, and everything in between. And lots of drawings. Lots of drawings.
Oh.
The Eversor Temple. Just kind of disturbing one. The Eversor Temple is about when you don't want anything to come back alive, friend or foe. You want it all dead. And Eversor is psychogenically conditioned with just psychotherapy and psychological torture to only feel violence, hatred, and anger.
Oh,
It
so they're
does
just
the Clockwork
violent
Orange
creatures.
style of thing of just making you forced to watch never-ending pain and misery and psycho conditioning, I guess is the term. And then they pump you full of tons of psychedelic drugs and they cryo freeze you. And then they drop you in an
Okay.
area where they just want to make sure everything is dead. And then you defrost, full of just all this insane, mind-boggling psychotherapy and psychedelic drugs. And you just go to town. Yeah, if you
Listen,
don't care
it
if
sounds
anyone
like
comes back
fun,
alive. You're like, all right.
But it sounds like an
lost
awful way to
cause.
live.
Send them in. Finally, there's the most bizarre temple, the Calyxus Temple. The Calyxus assassins are feared even among the other temples. So that blank gene, the people will go to the Calyxus Temple with this as
Okay.
well. And this is where they can
I mean, like,
harness
pump me
that
full of, like,
to be
psychedelics and
massively
send me out there too,
anti-psycho,
right? Like,
or
it
even
sounds
just
fun.
anti-regular people. They are seen with extreme fear and distrust among many, many people. They are described by the Eldar by quote as being pure evil. Imagine that uncomfortable feeling from that blank gene I mentioned, and then imagine them being taught and given equipment to amplify it by 100. If normally regular people feel uncomfortable, now they are basically akin to being a siren wailing directly in your ear. And if you're a psyker, oh no. The sheer
Oh,
presence
no.
of a Calyxus assassin is enough for you to tear your skin off. You will rather gouge your eyes out and rip your nails off than even being near this person. The Calyxus assassin is when you want psychers to literally lose their minds, and they will go on their knees and ask you to gun them down because it is a suitable choice over being anywhere near you. The motto of that
Okay.
temple
Oh,
is
this was short.
that which is unknown and unseen commands the greatest fear. Now, for the tabletop, assassins aren't that special. You can call
Their
them
masks
in
look
no
a
matter
little silly.
what Imperium faction you are. And they do a lot of work for themselves, but at the same time, they're very specialized and require a lot of
They
finesse.
kinda look
And they
goofy,
work
not
the
gonna
way
lie.
you generally want them to, though. You want to cause some
I
distortion
don't know
and
if I
weird
like
stuff, you
them.
take a Calidus. You want to just murder swaths of infantry and then blow up Eversor.
Basil.
You want to kill that
hi,
one
Emperor.
guy, Vindicare, and if you have a lot of psychers,
There's the
Calyxus.
Emperor
It's
again,
a nice little,
pals.
like, jack of all trades if you have a specific thing you want to kill. And you get to choose which is really fun. But now, let's talk about the last human faction.
We're
we can round
learning
this video
lore.
out before we do part
I'm
2.
learning Emperor.
The Inquisition. And we have a lot to talk about with them.
Inquisition? Are these the Inquisitors?
Oh,
yes?
boy.
Yes.
Where do I even begin with the Inquisition? Take every secret police you can think of.
Very
the
secret
KGB,
police.
the Gestapo, the CIA, FBI, any of these kinds of people. And then mark it up by
Oh.
about 10
So there's women in the
and give them
Inquisitors?
the most power in the entire Imperium. No, you know what? How about this? This right here.
I'm listening.
It's not just a quote. This is the Imperial motto. The motto of
You're
the
stopping in to say
Inquisition.
hi, you gotta get
I apologize
coyotes
for my
away
bad
from your
pronunciation.
property? Listen, Emperor,
Innocentia
whatever you need to
nihil
do.
probat. Innocence proves nothing.
What?
The most powerful organization in the Imperium, the secret police, their number one motto is innocence proves nothing. The
Great,
Inquisition
great.
goes around
Inquisitors
like
are
the secret
the
police or like
highest
detectives
authority,
to find issues
save for the
in
Emperor,
the Imperium.
even Space
and they have
Marines,
different
really?
ordos depending on which one we're talking about. The Ordo Hereticus, the Ordo Xenos, the Ordo Malleus, for instance, and a
Oh.
whole bunch of other ones. Hereticus is obvious; they deal
She's
with heretics. Xenos tries to find alien threats,
aight.
and Malleus is demons.
He's okay.
They all have different specializations in what they're trying to go
that a
for
necklace?
as this
Is that like a
Inquisitor.
strip?
And that's what they're called, Inquisitors. Each of them them, as an Inquisitor has their own
Okay.
free reign to do as they wish. They may have a ship and a crew, and they go
Okay.
out to find problems and interrogate people a lot.
Just for fun.
They are above the law in every department over Space Marines. Now, the Space Marines might argue against them and stuff, and there might be a lot of blowback, but technically they are above them as Inquisitors. They are looking to investigate and figure out coups and cults and demonic incursions and possible Xenos issues like gene stealers or a new threat coming into an area. They're about
These are the
learning
people
that
who
stuff
decide
and
if a
actually
planet is
detective
worth
work. And
saving?
memes aside, they're pretty good at it.
Oh,
the Inquisition
so
having
they're,
all of this power does make
okay.
them a little bit power hungry and frantic sometimes. And
We were
yes,
watching
it is still a bad thing. But most of them are
Warhammer
pretty
40k
good at their
lore
job.
videos.
And they spend a lot of time being very diligent to make sure that all of these leads they follow are proper and correct. They're basically space detectives.
This is our
with
first
just
one that we're watching. We finished the Space Marine 2 game yesterday in one sitting. So like today we're like watching lore
Enormous
videos.
power and sometimes a bit of a power complex. And we haven't even talked about Exterminatus yet. Exterminatus.
It's okay.
Exterminatus is deeming a planet unfit to be saved.
Oh, that's what
I
you just said,
deem that
Stitch.
this
Okay.
planet is demon infested, and taking it back will cost too many resources and is not worth it. I have now committed Exterminatus on this planet. I will now sign the death warrant of an entire
death
Imperium
warrant?
planet, as it is unfit to take and better to be destroyed than allow the enemy to hold
what
it.
factors
This
in
can
if
mean
it's
saturation
good for
bombardment.
take or
this
not,
can mean
or if it's
cracking the planet's
being
core
destroyed?
and breaking it apart. Doesn't matter. Render this planet inhospitable to all life. Yes, the innocence
okay.
proves nothing people are the only people who can choose this planet must die in its entirety.
All right.
Yeah, you're playing the villain. Now, it is memed a lot.
That's pretty
but
bad.
Most Inquisitors are very rare to do Exterminatus. Exterminatus is a very crazy thing. There's only so many worlds that you don't want to destroy all of them. Now, naturally,
Oh, so they don't do it a lot.
with the memes aside, there are some people who are a little bit rough on this one.
Oh, this guy.
But most Inquisitors generally don't like to do Exterminatus a ton, but it is an option they have.
Okay.
And it's a crazy option when you
Definitely
think
not
about
gay
it. Secret Police Inquisition are unfortunately not represented on the tabletop very much. You generally kind of put one in your army if you feel like it. You have a couple special options there and some side content, but they're not really fleshed out very well, and personally they need a lot more stuff put in there, and they really need a lot more effort put into
a little
them.
bit,
They're
but not
quite
like a
where I
lot.
want them to be. Overall, the Inquisition makes for a lot of the best storytelling as well, because it's a little bit hard to talk about a big story of a whole bunch of Space Marines killing something, right? It's just a big battle story. It's not as interesting. Having that intrigue and that moral dilemma that an Inquisitor has makes for a lot better media. And honestly, the more people do it, I think it's better, because then it adds a little more humanity to the Warhammer horrible grim darkness.
So Inquisitors
and wow,
have morals.
we just finished the humans, all right?
You just want to let
Come
us
back
know.
to
What are we
part
knowing?
2 when we talk about Chaos and Xenos.
Those are the
'cause
people who
we got to talk about the
Leandra's
4
ratted
Chaos
Titus
gods
out to.
and all the Chaos Marine legions and the Tau and the Necrons and the Orcs, and oh boy, we got a lot. I'll see you in part 2.
We got part 2. Let me go find it. Let me hit just chatting so I can go find it. It's just in my Discord, I'm pretty sure.